Hi, I'm Tom Field, Senior Vice President of Editorial with Information Security Media Group. I'm talking today about filling the skills gap, and it's my pleasure to be speaking with Craig Hinkley. He's the CEO of WhiteHat Security. Craig, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, morning, Tom. It's great to be here.
The skills gap, this is something we've talked about
Absolutely.
for over a decade now.
Yep.
Give me your overview of where we are with the skills gap, the need for training, and how it impacts industries such as banking.
Yeah, look, everyone's talked about the skills gap, Tom, and the reality is it's widening. I think there was a report recently, there's like 1.5 million open cybersecurity jobs. And the demand in cyber is continuing to grow. So as we just talked about, it's expanding. Now, in terms of how do we fix it, it's a difficult thing to do because there is no course you can do. There is no formal training. And I was talking to the CISO, Lamont Orange, and he was also talking about the fact that there's no formal organizational role for a CISO. I mean, they report to IT, they report to the Chief Risk Officer, they report to the CFO. So from a career path, if you want to get into security and you're looking at a professional career path, where do you go? So that's absolutely one of the reasons, some of the reasons that we have the skill gap. And for banking, it's showing up. We've got a number of clients who are banks, major banks in the US and internationally. And the way it shows up is that they can't build out their security programs. They're struggling to have the talent to build out a rigid and robust security program. And therefore, they have to rely on companies like WhiteHat to help fill that skill gap by bringing in a platform that can deliver a solution for them. And really, the way we need to solve this is through training. And it isn't just training the security folks. As we think about creating a safer digital life for all of us to live in, one of the key things is actually co-opting the developers, the folks who are actually creating the new digital experiences that we're all consuming on our phones. How do we co-opt the developers to be part of the solution of building and developing more secure digital experiences from the start?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the developers because one of the issues that we see is the lack of personnel is hurting application security.
Yeah.
And in banking, where you've got so many institutions rushing to get apps out to the market, often with insecure code, becomes an issue. Now, let's back up and talk about the role of machine learning in helping to address application security, because there's a tie-in here with staffing.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, it's, machine learning, AI, it's the buzzwords.
Yes.
And I think the gap between buzzwords and reality is shrinking. And certainly for us at WhiteHat, machine learning was something that when I joined as CEO 3 years ago, we were talking about. One of the challenges with machine learning is that you need a data set to actually train the machine and have it learn. And one of the benefits here we had for WhiteHat is that part of our model has been for every security defect we've found for the last 17 years, a threat researcher, a ethical hacker has verified that data. So we've got 100 million verified attack vectors in our kind of data lake. And we built a neural network machine learning model to sit on top of that. And we did a pilot of about 10% of that workload. And we found that we can deliver the same accuracy as the human, the ethical hacker was doing at now infinite speed and scale. So that's going to help not just us, but our customers, because now the machine learning can step in and do some of that work that the hacker had to do or the security engineer analyst had to do. So that allows them to kind of move up chain, up market from a value perspective and have time to really interact with and build tighter partnerships with the development organization.
Now, where do machine learning and the staffing crisis sort of converge?
So I think the machine learning and staffing crisis converge, and it kind of builds on what we just said, is that there's so much kind of basic lifting that has to be done in building and operationalizing the security program, that if we can have machine learning kind of step in and do some of those tasks, that it will relieve that demand for human capital to do that work, allowing the human capital to be applied to a different part of the problem. So I think machine learning is going to allow us to do some of the fundamental rudimentary work within the security program, and that will allow us to then apply the resources elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now, talk to me about WhiteHat Security. What is your, Craig Hinkley's, vision of digital security, and how are you at WhiteHat Security helping your customers to achieve that?
So, great question. I joined 3 years ago as CEO, And what just fascinated me in talking to our customers, our partners, and analysts was this amazing transformation taking place. The digital economy, and everyone's talking about digital transformation. Really what we see, Tom, is that every company is trying to become a digital business, and in so is trying to build their digital factory. We're in the fourth industrial revolution, and it's the digital revolution. And what we're trying to do is our customers are building their digital factory so they can produce that digital product, that digital experience, that mobile app, web app, API, microservice, whatever they're building. Our goal is to embed security in the software production line of their digital factory. And that's really our vision of how do we make security seamless and frictionless in how developers and that software production line build more secure digital products. Mm-hmm. So while we're invisible and seamless, if we do this right, security will be far more present and far more integrated into that end product than it ever has been before.
Excellent. Well said. I appreciate your time and your interest, Craig.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Tom.
Been talking with Craig Hinkley. He's the CEO of the WhiteHat Security. For Information Security Media Group, I'm Tom Field. Thank you very much.